This is Jerry G. Ludzik, Bill Kelly, and Rick Manweller from northeastern Pennsylvania, collectively known as Dakota. And although their names may not ring a bell, you'll probably remember hearing Jerry and Bill back in 1970, when under the name The Boys, they had a number 13 hit single, Timothy.
It was recorded, our first group, The Boys, and was written by a good friend of ours, Rupert Holmes, who's having quite a bit of success right now on Broadway. And we were very young. We made some major mistakes as far as contractually, things like that. Got caught up in some of the nastiness of the business. But we recovered and survived, and a few years later, we're still there, still making music, and hopefully we'll be making music for a while yet.
The Boys stayed intact for several years and had another noteworthy success, Give Up Your Guns, which was a modest hit in both the U.S. and Europe.
Yeah, and then about 1978, I believe, we left The Boys, and we hooked up with the drummer from the group Chicago, Danny Seraphin. And we did a record for Epic in '78, and that was kind of a frisbee. You know, it was pretty much a sweetheart deal between you know, Danny and the label, and you really can't get very far in sweetheart deals. While we were doing the Columbia album, we were in Montreal, the record company, Columbia, wanted to change the name. We were called Jerry Kelly before, right after we left The Boys, because it was Kelly and myself. And, I mean, what's in a name? I mean, they wanted to change Jerry Kelly because they thought it was too light, sounded like the Irish Rovers or something. So we went through a whole bunch of names for a couple of days, and John Robinson, who was playing with Rufus at the time, who played drums on our first Dakota record, by the way, came up with Dakota. And CBS liked it. I don't know why. We hated it. And we just felt that, well, what's a name? So we traveled around the country trying to make that name familiar with, you know, our music and everything.
Under the name of Dakota, Kelly and Ludzik were good enough to yield a pair of regional hits, including If It Takes All Night, which streaked to #1 in a number of cities. However, according to Dakota, the album never reached its full commercial potential, as it became entangled in record business politics.
It's politics and timing. It's how much money, promotional dollars your label is going to throw in, and how far they want to, you know, go to bat with you. And if they don't, you know, it's your tax write-off to them. You know, they throw it on the wall, whatever sticks. But once again, you can't take that personal, because I feel the Runaway album, as all our other albums, were just as good as anything that was on the radio. You know, I really believe that. And one of these times we make a record, we're going to get lucky with that one song that's going to get the airplay and get the promotion, and then they're going to say, where'd these guys